So my quick take on this topic, really interesting. Actually, I think I can tease this out into 4 different topics. So one will be men really don't change. You can pray, you can fast, you can give them as much hot pots, whatever, cook their favorite meal, therapize them, all of this stuff. They will change only if they want to change, or sometimes legally, these setting repercussions are put on them that maybe there might be a need to change or go to therapy. But I mean, therapy doesn't change them, especially somebody who has like really difficult personality, high conflict, narcissistic personality. Okay. 2 will be this man who left his wife to be with a celebrity because he's a narcissist, because he doesn't respect women, because he sees women as an object, a means to an end for him, not somebody who his emotions and value should be seen all the way until he's like decrepit, like it's old. Now he's talking about it. Now he's working around his resentment. Meanwhile, he's the one who cheated, and he's talking about his resentment towards his ex-wife. I'm like, what? 3 is, ladies, you're gonna have children, make sure at least your bare minimum, right? Your activities of daily living, your food, your shelter, things like that. Look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs and see, like, the bottom line is you can meet it financially. You have your finances. We talk about a video of a circulating lately, or went viral, of this woman who was going to give birth, and the husband could not afford to pay, so was driving to a different hospital, and she died in the process. She and her baby died in the process. Men literally don't care at the core of it. You think he will have that money ready before the baby will be due? You will end up losing yourself or losing your life, and your children will be brutalized because you're not there to raise them. So those are the main 3. I think I said 4, but I think it's more like 3. Oh, and then 4, actually 4. Pick me women and how dangerous they can be. I actually did a whole video on that, but I'll touch a little bit on that a little bit on here, because that's a whole phenomenon as well. If you're friends with a pick me, you will notice it, like you went through a breakup or a divorce or separation, and that friend is still friends with your ex. That's a big red flag. So where's the girl code? Where do you stand? How can I continue to be friends with you when you're still pretty much friends with the ex? Are you being with me to feed off my info so you can go feed it up to him, to give him updates about where I am in pillow talk or whatever? It's kind of like a very weird position to be. I'm going to have a quick listening to what this guy says, and just so you can feel how flabbergasted I was listening to him literally be like, blah. And then I'll take my quick take, and then you can leave me your thoughts in the comment in the chat box, and follow me for more videos like this. Because the more we talk about these things, the more it normalizes it, and then more, hopefully, as we navigate, we can realize that men compartmentalize their feelings and emotions differently than we do. They can hit the hot pot and move on to different hot pots, and it's just not feeling, there's no attachment. The way we show up in relationships, especially romantic relationships, as heterosexual beings, is so different than how our male counterparts show up to it. They are completely detached. A lot of times they see you as an object, as a tool, like a fridge, like a teacup that you use. In the moment, you satisfy, you get that dopamine, discard it, because you're not holding your teacup all day long being like, oh my god, teacup, I mean, it's so lovely. No, you drink that tea, it feels good, it's warm, it's refreshing to your body, and then you put it out. And then you come back to it when you do need it again. Maybe in a week, maybe in the next day, maybe in a year, who knows? But you see that's a lot of times how men literally view us in relation as a teacup. Come, get the hot pot, put it away somewhere. Don't think about it all day. When you're wanting it, you get back to it. Let's listen to this real quick before I lose. Actually, I'm going to do one more so I don't lose this because it's going to be too long.
I was married from, since 84 or something like that. So I didn't.
Damn, you ain't get a chance to enjoy the single life of your stand-up.
I did. I broke up my marriage. Don't worry. Don't worry. I broke up my marriage.
Man, sick. Oh, I enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah. And I regret it.
Really?
Yeah, because, when in show business, you think that this chemistry you got with this person, this actress, is like special and pure. And then what you don't realize is she gonna go do that on the next role with somebody else. And you be like, but I left my wife for you. Yeah. You know what? Tell her the stuff you told my character. She'll take you back. You be like,
damn. What?
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you learn about marriage? What do you learn about yourself during marriage?
It's cheaper to keep her. That's what I learned. Or cheaper to kill her.
Keep her. We gonna kill her.
But I think marriage is a beautiful arrangement. I was just too young and dumb to know that back then.
Are you on good terms?
Yeah. Here's what's crazy is, for the longest, like she and I would, we never said it to each other, but we just made up our minds that we can't let the grandkids feel our resentment. And there was resentment, She'd come in and sit over there and I'd sit over there. And then probably about 7 years ago, I was over at Junior's house, family gathering, because kids would invite her to barbecues at my house, and it's fine, and what it was is the fear of having to relitigate what happened in the marriage.
Right.
And I know I messed up. Right. I messed up, so I don't want to deal. That's why I pay you alimony, so I don't have to deal with that, right? But about 7 years ago, we were over at Junior's house, and we're sitting outside, and she's over there somewhere. And we're laughing. That's what we do, is laugh, joke, and we start reminiscing. And then she came and sat right next to me and started chiming in. And then we were talking about, she brought up a story, and I was like, I remember. And the kids were like, they're talking. But I could feel all the tension just leave.
Dissipate.
The relationship changed. I love her. And I was able to say, I love you. And she says that to me when we see each other. I care for her. I don't want nothing bad happen.
Right.
And it's maturity.
Right.
And she said the last week when I saw her, she's like, we did good by the kids, right? And we high-fived. Yeah.
Wow.
Marriage is not just the moment, right? You have to get through moments. It's tough. I think marriage is beautiful. But marriage, when you get to the older years, where it becomes a ballet, where they don't say much, after all these years, she know what shut up mean. She not talkative. She make you a little coffee in the morning and your toast. Not breakfast, toast. She figured out you need something to eat. And come downstairs and the paper's there and you read it and y'all just exist together. You fart and you look at it, she ain't laughing. Okay, go back to the paper. And then she talk and you just And when you get to a certain age, you got the most wonderful thing in the world, which is a hearing aid. You turn that down. Just looking out. So what did you do? And that's what it is. But you think about all that you've been through, and the kids and the grandkids, and it's special. Like, so, I was trying to tell my sons, like, you want to get married because brands want to know. If you think about Bill Gates and Jobs and all these guys, Bezos about to get married again. Yeah. Why? Because when you sit down and people think about being in business with you, if you can manage your marriage I can be in business with you because I know on a day-to-day you are having to humble yourself and have to kind of work through stuff. So with business, you'll do the same thing. I feel like you would do the same
Right.
thing.
So what's the dating life like for us? Because I need, I'm headed towards 62, bro.
I don't date. I'm happy.
You happy?
I wake up in the morning like a kid. You know, you run outside and you come home smelling like pennies. I could do whatever I want to do. There's
Right.
peace in my house.
Right.
I don't have to, hey, we good? You all right? You need anything? Yeah, I could not. I've been by myself too long.
Oh, you set in ways then, huh? So you ain't getting married no more, huh?
No. I never say never.
Right.
Because if some woman can climb over the wall of resentment and the bile that I have, in my
all the
stomach,
checks you done had to write.
Yeah. For 25 years, I've been writing checks, alimony. If she can come out, she was sent by God. That's a superhero.
Here goes some of the comments on this topic, especially with this man who's talking about his ex-wife, leaving his ex-wife for a celebrity and now regretting decades later when they have grandkids and everything now. And the fact that he's so narcissistic, he talk about the fact that he sends checks. Sending checks doesn't equate to having relationships with your own family, with your own woman that you're laid with to have children. Having regrets now and seeing how he fumbled her is sad to watch, and him living by himself, because the grass is never greener. The grass is never greener when you refuse to do the work to water it, to nourish it, to put fertilizer. You know, talking about fertilizer, I have lawnmowers, so excuse the background noise a little bit. But I'm going to read a few of the comments, and then you can check out the video. I'm going to link it as well. And let me know your perspective. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment in the chat box, because a lot of men literally will get a high from just getting a dopamine hit by hitting different hot pots, by being all about XCS status. Therefore, he went with that woman who is a celebrity, right? It's all about status. It's all about selfishness. It's all about them. And so they are now old and decrepitous. And now they want to talk about how they regret doing that, but it's too late. This is why it's important as women to center ourselves physically, emotionally, financially, so you don't find yourself shriveled up and wrinkled up because a man chooses to switch up on you and change, because you can't predict if that man is never going to change on you. Men change, human beings change. We even as women change, but we have more of a place of a capacity of empathy in relationships and have loyalty. A lot of men don't have loyalty. They might even stay a lot of time if they hate you, don't like you, and they be continuing to cheat on you and bring you emotional pain, STI, changes in your pH constantly. But anyway, one person goes, narcissists don't miss their ex. The narcissist miss what their ex did for them. And that is so true. If they come back, I always don't recommend ever getting back with your ex, because sometimes they're coming back to finish the business they didn't finish the last time. Women who want their men to be a certain financial level are not gold diggers. That's what, one person said, because one of the comments he made was that only Jesus knows how this man, only Jesus knows with this man, one comment goes. Also, look at how casually men joke about unaliving women. Disgusting. I was trying to do a video on that, and then I lost it. But they were laughing. They said it's cheaper to keep her and cheaper or better to unalive her. And they were laughing, giggling, both the interviewer and that old shriveled up guy. And I'm like, why is that funny? Dude, I was gobsmacked, like, isn't a joke, because there's an active global femicide epidemic. And that was a ridiculous thing to say. Can you imagine? It's cheaper to keep her, cheaper to unalive her. And a lot of men can't unalive you slowly or quickly or by hiring a narcissist, whatever, a third party to do the little judge. Oh, it was an accident. We don't even know what happened to her. But you are gone. Your children will not see you anymore. This is why it's so important. When you see the change, you see them doing things that don't make sense. When you see them, because men a lot of times lack emotional regulation. They are very emotional beings, but they lack emotional regulation. They're impulsive. They are, they don't know conflict resolution skills. They don't know how to repair. A lot of men, and that's why they go for numbing so they can avoid that desire to do something super, um, crazy, including unaliving women, in order for them to prove a point or get back at you. So be mindful, be careful. Okay, bye.
About a year ago, I entered into an affair with someone at work.
Okay.
And blindsided my wife and moved in with another woman. And ultimately, she had a child who was just over a year old. And I raised this child like my own. And the father was in the picture. He's a good dad. He's there. But it's caused some issues in the fact that around Christmas time, we decided that we wanted to do one Christmas because I saw how having two separate Thanksgivings, it devastated the mom. And ultimately, he never left. He sort of just moved in, and then we made it official. So it was me, I guess my girlfriend, and the father of her child under one roof, along with the toddler. And there was always, some friction there. Again, he was a nice guy, but it was just a very weird dynamic.
You think?
Yes.
Were y'all like a throuple? Were y'all all in this together, or was she dating two guys? Or
no, she was just dating me. But
no way! Of course she hooked back up with him.
No. It was very weird, but it wasn't like that. He had a lot of debt, and he didn't have anywhere else to go really, and she didn't want to take time away from him with this child, or at least that was her thought process.
There was no thinking going on at all. But okay, so bring me to now.
Yeah. Everything I didn't do before, I tried to emphasize me doing, and it was an extremely rewarding experience. But every day I woke up, I knew that if I had tried that hard with my wife, I wouldn't be in that position.
Why'd you leave your wife?
Well, at the time, and I say this at the time because I have, hindsight of me just being a moron.
Why'd you leave your wife?
She said, she wasn't sure she was really a believer anymore.
Okay.
And she said she was. That she wasn't really sure if she wanted to have kids anymore.
Okay.
But, that's what I told myself at the time, but it was really, I didn't feel like I mattered. So that's what I told myself.
So this happens over time, and the whole time, or at some point during this time, there's a coworker that's hilarious, kind of pretty at first, and gets more pretty over time. And
like you wouldn't believe.
Do what?
Like you wouldn't believe, John.
Yeah, laughs at your jokes. puts her hand on your shoulder when she's telling you a funny thing, or on your forearm, just little gentle things like that. And you suddenly, for the first time in a long time, feel that terrifying feeling of alive again.
Yes, sir.
And then you can look back at your home life and come up with any number of reasons why this is the right thing and what you've been doing for the last 7 or 8 years is the wrong thing.
Yes. A few weeks ago, or a couple weeks ago, she asked me, my girlfriend texted me, "Hey, do you want to meet?" She takes me over there, and she says, "I can't do this because our lease was coming up. It's expiring. So I can't move to a new home with you. I can't live with 2 men I'm not married to anymore, and I can't take time away from the father of my child."
So you got dumped.
I got dumped,
Yeah.
and in a split second, I lost everything I had.
Yeah.
And was blindsided. And obviously, there's some kind of larger humor here, where everything I did to someone.
Yeah. How can I help you right now, man? I know you're hurting, man.
I woke up the next day at a rest home. Not a rest home, like a rest area. I'm not that old. Rest area. And I've never felt more alone in my life. Mm-hmm. Not a single time. And I just didn't know what to do. So I texted my wife. I was like, "Hey, here's what happened. You can track me now on Google Maps. Just keep an eye on me if you don't mind." And then I asked if she wanted to just meet up to talk later, and she said sure. She responded immediately, and she was, since that, she's just been an absolute rock for me again. And I don't know what to do. I just want my life back, whatever that looks like. I want to be okay.
I think you can be okay. The life you had is over. And the longer you try to pretend the last year didn't happen, the longer you try to avoid the fact that you ripped some woman's heart out, the longer you try to not feel the fact that your heart just got ripped out, that's a recipe for disaster down the road. It's grief, it's heartache, it's shame, it's all of that. And if you try to run past this and try to end around this thing, it will haunt you physiologically. This is not just woo-woo. This is neuroscience. It will haunt you. There is no going back. The beautiful thing is you can build something else. But you may have gotten a glimpse now. And I only think it's a glimpse because you were playing house with somebody for a year and also with her other boyfriend who she had a kid by, that whole weird thing. You got a glimpse of the pain your wife experienced. Just a glimpse. But I think there's something about getting down on your knees in front of her and saying how gut-wrenchingly sorry you are. And maybe this divorce continues on. Maybe y'all find reconciliation down the road. That's not a today conversation. The today conversation is, I need to take a knee before the woman I promised my life to and let her know I hurt you so bad and I'm sorry. And my mission in life is to become a man that will never hurt somebody like that ever, ever, ever again, myself included.
There is a story going so viral right now because of this man called into a show. The show has millions of followers, streams on every social media platform with sheer audacity. Complete delusion in his situation, right? This man starts talking like an absolute victim. He talks about how he left his wife, blindsided her. He used the word blindsided, of 7 years to move in with a coworker that he was messing around with. He and the coworker move in together after, I don't know, messing around for a couple of months, which is crazy in itself, but stay with me. She has a baby by somebody else, right? She's still involved with the baby dad. He's describing the baby dad like a devoted father, really great guy. As a family, she and the baby daddy aren't together, I guess, and they're celebrating holidays separate, like twice with the kids. I don't know. But she's like really upset about it. Baby daddy moves into the house. So now it's him, his coworker girlfriend, and her baby daddy living all under the same roof. Then one day she just comes up to him and says, it's just really awkward with all of us together, and me and the baby daddy are going to work it out, and I just can't do this anymore. So, you go figure it out. You have to go. Here's what's crazy. The guy who left his wife and moved in with his coworker, he moves in with her, and he is doing the most to keep the relationship afloat. He agrees to have that other guy come in and move in with them, which is crazy. He is putting in all the effort to pursue this woman, look after the baby that's not his. He's doing everything to make this lady happy. And then he admits on the show that if he had put in that amount of effort into his marriage, then he wouldn't have been where he ended up. So he drives off into a rest area. He's darn near ready to, unalive himself. Calls up his wife, his estranged wife, and says, just look at my location on Google Maps. I'm just letting you know where I'm at. Here's what happened. I don't know how I'm feeling right now. I just wanted you to know where I was. So she's concerned. She's upset. But he's calling into the show to ask for advice on how to get his wife back. After all that he's put her through, he wants to know how he can get her back. Now, the guy running the show, super professional, because I would have laughed the entire time. I would have been like, ain't no way. Ain't no way. Is this the first time he told the story out loud? Because ain't no way. No. Couldn't be me. No. I don't have advice for you. You go to therapy. You go heal. Leave that lady alone. All right?